You know what else you're going to have to buy for your kids? Perhaps a new map of the United States of America.
With the great state of Canada and the great state of Greenland.
Oh, boy.
That's right. So listen, this is what Donald Trump tweeted out or posted on X back on December 22nd. He said, for purposes of national security and freedom throughout the world, the United States of America feels that the ownership and control of Greenland is an absolute necessity. Meanwhile, Greenland's prime minister, his name is Egedi. Is that how you say it? I don't know how to speak.
Mute Igegi.
Egedi? Egedi?
Ejed.
Ejed? I don't know.
I'm going to be the one person on the couch not to attempt.
All right, don't attempt.
Let's just call him the prime minister.
He's the prime minister
said this.
And this is what he said. The Greenlandic people's opportunity for independence has been adopted through the provisions of the Self-Government Act, thereby creating a legal basis for how independence can be achieved. A draft constitution for our country has also been prepared. Work has already begun with regard to creating the framework for Greenland as an independent state within the possibilities and provisions of Self-Government Act. So Donald Trump sends out this tweet. At the same time, Greenland has been talking about independence from Denmark. And one of the things that they've done to sort of push this forward is to put in airports so that you can come directly to Greenland without having to pass through Denmark. So they've done that part. But he's also, this prime minister said, sorry, we don't want to be part of the United States. So what do you think is going to happen here? And what is really behind all this with Donald Trump?
But the important point there is that even they are not satisfied with being governed by Denmark, which is kind of an important thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do we want Greenland, guys?
Well, so I'm not really sure, and this is a great question for your next interview with Trump. I'm not sure it's necessarily about U.S. sovereignty over Greenland, but I think U.S. influence in the Arctic is extremely important. This is strategy. This is major high-level geopolitical strategy. You look at what our enemies are up to. You look at the Chinese. You look at the Russians together, that alliance or axis of the Chinese and the Russians. They are really aggressive in the Arctic. And the free world has to, wake up and pay a lot of attention to that. And I think that's what Trump is getting at here, saying, hey, we would like to have more influence on this landmass up there.
And who do you think can defend Greenland from Russia or China, more importantly, better? The Danes or America?
America.
And if the Danes want to make the case for themselves, then they can actually put their money where their mouth is, right? And if we can encourage people in the West to step up on defense and that military spending and that sort of thing, all the better to help share the weight, share the burden.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's similar to what he was doing in the Panama Canal.
100%.
Saying, hey, you got to choose between whether your ally is China or the United States. And so he's making some very interesting moves ahead of his inauguration.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.